Last June 2, 2018, I showcased my first collection made out of local hand-woven textiles, a part of my bucket list as a designer. In Philippine Fashion Gala, the Montañosa collection presents my designs made out of woven textiles sourced directly from the Yna weavers of Sagada Mountain Province. A modern interpretation of the life and culture of Sagada, the collection takes inspiration from its environment and, most important of all, the lovely Igorot culture. However, the collection's purpose does not end in the show. I also want everyone to know how I was inspired by Sagada. Watch and discover the beauty of nature and textile weaving of the lovely land, Montañosa. I've been to Sagada for several times, but it was my college professor and now mentor, Felipe De Leon Jr., who introduced to me this beautiful place in the north through our educational tour back in 2012. Since then, I've already admired the beauty of the place, the serenity, the rich culture, the nature, and the people. When I had enough money to travel by myself, I went to Sagada to take a longer stay to get to know more the place and interact with the people. Sagada boasts its picturesque mountain ranges and cold weather. It is the perfect place to escape the hustle and bustle of the city, a refuge for the troubled, and a romantic place for couples. Some of the famous attractions include the Sumaging Cave, the famous Mount Keltepan, the Marlborough Hills, and the Pongas Falls. Our tummies are also always happy in Sagada because of the good food. Our favorite restaurant, Sagada Brew. I've also already gained good friends in the small town. Lynn is the owner of Sagada Heritage Village, which I always stay at. She helped us retrieve my boyfriend's cell phone when it got lost on the way to the town. Henry, native name Alwad, is our driver, tour guide, and best friend in Sagada. There's definitely no dull moment with him. He's very funny and jolly, and we always sing together by the bonfire. Lynn and Henry are just two of the many good friends we've made. It's not hard to be comfortable with the people in the town. They are all very accommodating, friendly, and sweet. But the thing that I love most about these people is how they protect nature and their culture. Getting to know and interacting with them, I admired how they were able to preserve their culture despite the threat of colonization and modernization. With my admiration towards the life and culture of the mountain province, I've always wanted to make a couture collection to give tribute to the land that always welcomes me with open arms. So when Philippine Fashion Gala invited me to join their event, I felt that it was already time. Last April, I took a quick trip to Sagada to get several meters of their hand-woven fabric. On our way to Sagada, we got stranded for more than an hour in the town of Bontoc, and I was thankful for that because I was lucky enough to witness the Lang-Ay Festival, an annual festival that brings together all the towns of Mountain Province. I got a good view of the street presentation, so I was able to see all the tribes in Mountain Province. I even got to get close to the famous Chico River, the river system that traverses from Mountain Province, Kalinga, and Cagayan Valley. It was hard to find indigenous tribes in Sagada because of the many private companies and government agencies that exploited these cultures. Natives already find it hard to give their trust to tourists. So with only a few hours left in Sagada, Henry decided to introduce us instead to the pioneer of weaving centers in the town. Sagada Weaving, established in 1968, is the first weaving center in the town and served as a job opportunity for women in Sagada. Back in the days, the husbands usually worked in mines, and due to lack of money remittance technology, the wives who are at home are left penniless. Through the business bought up by Andrea Bondad, the women of Sagada are able to provide for the family. Now on its third generation, managed by Ezra Aranduque, Sagada Weaving is able to provide work not only for the women of Sagada, but also its neighboring towns, Bisao and Abra. Up to date, there are 14 weavers and 8 sewers in the weaving center. According to Joe, the son of Ezra, The only thing that they look for aspiring weavers are interest and willingness to learn. The whole process of creating a roll of woven textile takes more than a month. It starts with the gun eye, a 3 to 4 hour preparation process where the color combination and the design is determined. A complete weave, or Yna Mendez, requires an average of 1,700 threads. It then proceeds with the locote, where the threads are rolled in the pin for approximately 6 hours. The hardest part of the process is the gall-on, which sets the plane and patterns of the weave on the loom and can take up to 2 days. Lastly is the men-abe, or the weaving process, which can take up to 35 days. The design which I got from Sagada Weaving is their flagship pattern, the X and diamond pattern, which symbolizes the mortar and pestle used during harvest. This is how important rice planting is to the Igorot culture. Chants are even sung before or during planting with the hope of bountiful harvest. Rice planting is a common reference of pattern in Igorot hand-woven textiles. This makes it the perfect design to use for my collection. I bought a total of 20 meters from the weaving center, and 1 meter costs 410 pesos. Indeed, it is relatively expensive, but the price is worth it. I was paying not only for the weave itself, but also for the tedious and rich process of the men-abe. I paid for its total value, unlike many so-called proudly Filipino brands that actually exploit these weavers by paying them below its worth. This is a bothersome situation and is one of the reasons why women feel discouraged about pursuing weaving as a career. So through this video, and the collection I showcased in Philippine Fashion Gala, I hope that I am able to bring awareness of the beauty of textile weaving. Our friends from the indigenous communities need our support to preserve this rich culture. And amidst all the problems that this country is facing, killings, abusive power, rising prices, and destroyed natural resources, there is still something about the Philippines that we can be proud of. Our indigenous cultures that have stood the test of time, like the weaving industry and the land called Montañosa.